All right. I got a little sloppy, and I got some dye on my drawers. But because I got a finish, I can simply scuff it off. And what we did on these drawers, they're natural maple, is we simply put a couple coats of finish on them, scuffed them, put some wax on them. So all I got to do is scuff it off and re-wax it. That's the advantage. We got another issue. You know, one of the things in this series, while we're doing this for real, one of the things I'm acutely aware of is that things don't always go as they should. So sometimes when I get a chance, I'll set up a scenario to help you learn something. One of the things on the front of these drawers and on the top, we've got a crotch mahogany. Now, one of the things with a crotch mahogany is that you've got a soft grain and a hard grain in there, much like a curly maple or something. And it's porous. Now, using this post-cat conversion varnish, conversion coating, it dries super fast. Now, that said, this is kind of like spraying a solvent base outside. If it dries that fast, what happens when you've got a porous wood, oaks, ashes, they're really bad about it. What happens is the air can't get out. And as the film just starts to set up, the air is trying to get out, can't, creates a blister. And that's what we got. Now you also notice the way I've got these is so I don't get too much overspray. We've got, you see the blister now, I've scuffed them just enough to break them. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna glaze this no matter what. But this is dry, so all I'm gonna do, I scuffed it off, I'm just gonna wipe a little dye, like a glaze. Now I'm going to shoot it like it sets. That way, what's going to happen by doing that is the air isn't trying to come straight out of it. It don't blister. Now this one, I had blisters in it and I've already done it. Now I've got a few little tracks in here of where they were at, but I'll scuff that out when this coat's dry. Let me get the other one ready. Now I'm not real wet. Actually, I'm kind of damp. Almost too damp here. I don't want to be soaking wet. I just want to be damp. Because this alcohol can also dissolve this finish right now because the finish hasn't cured. This hasn't been on here. This conversion coating hasn't been on here 20 minutes. Okay, the next thing I got, now my top, I went real light on the top. Very, very light on the first coat because I figured this would happen. So I'm trying to show you is that going light on it makes a whole big difference. Now the other thing we've got on this top, we've got up here, down on this side, this is an African mahogany that we use to trim this, and it's got a lot of ribbon in it. So we were very careful, but you can, this is, because that ribbon, it's pretty, well, it's pretty rough. You can listen on the microphone. But you let it dry good, then you come back and you scuff sand it. I've only got one coat on here. So I know I'm probably come close to going through, but I'm gonna get the worst of it off. Now one of the other things, the top on this, because of the crotch and whatever, is a little darker than even the drawer front. So I'm not gonna glaze the top, not at this point. Whoops, I gotta run. Hold on. All right, I got a little run there, and I got a soft finish. It's splattered can, but I'm gonna take a little naphtha. Naphtha makes a good lubricant. It won't damage a soft finish. And it keeps you gone. I'll tell you something else too. I don't care how you strip something. Sometimes something that's been stripped they can just give more issues than you know. Now, one of the things I would have preferred to have done on this would have been able to put a good sanding sealer on it. But I didn't have any that's compatible underneath this post-catalyzed stuff because it's pretty tough. So I'm just going with the finish as a sealer. Can you get in real close right there? I got another little run right there. Can you see how dark that is? That's that like on like thing. It pulled a little bit of color when it ran. Part of that has to do with me pushing this thing really hard too. But here's my point. And yep, I got one. You know, I think I am going to glaze this top a little bit of dye. But I'm a little bit concerned when I glaze it that, well, I'm a little bit concerned that when I glaze it, that big an area of that dye, I'm afraid I could get a gooey mess. But I got an alcohol-based dye. I'll be right back.